The ICU at Liberty General Hospital hummed with a sterile chill, its fluorescent lights casting harsh shadows. I stood by Sarah Miller's bedside, her frail form tethered to machines that beeped like a faltering heartbeat. Her breaths came in shallow gasps, each one a fragile thread fraying under death's weight. "Ethan," she whispered, her voice barely piercing the silence. "Eleanor's project, it's their only hope. Don't let it fade." Her eyes, dim yet burning with resolve, met mine, unraveling the cold fortress I'd built around my soul since Eleanor's death 3 years ago. I, Ethan Vance, CEO of Vance Holdings, master of wealth but slave to grief, felt my world tilt. Nurse Brenda Olson, her face etched with quiet compassion, approached, her steps deliberate. She pressed an envelope into my trembling hands, her gaze steady, as if she knew its weight. Eleanor's handwriting stared back, my late wife's elegant script, a ghost from a life I'd buried. I tore it open, my breath catching. Inside, her letter shattered me. "I've hidden a breakthrough. Ethan, a medical discovery to save lives. Sarah, Leo, Noah, they're my heart. If you love me, save them." Each word was a dagger, piercing the armor of my indifference. The room spun as Sarah's monitors flickered, her life hanging by a thread. Brenda's hand rested on my arm, grounding me. Eleanor's plea echoed, a call to resurrect a part of me I'd thought dead. I clutched the letter, its edges biting my skin, and felt the stir of something forgotten, purpose. The city outside pulsed, indifferent, but here, in this sterile room, a spark ignited. Could I honor Eleanor's wish? Could I save them? The question burned, raw and unrelenting, as Sarah's eyes held mine, demanding I choose. 400 words. I am Ethan Vance, ruler of Vance Holdings, a titan in Manhattan's glittering skyline. My empire spans industries, my name synonymous with power, yet I am a stranger to joy. My penthouse, perched above Central Park, is a mausoleum of glass and steel, echoing Eleanor's laughter, now silenced. 3 years ago, her death carved a chasm no wealth could bridge. I moved through boardrooms with mechanical precision, my heart a locked vault, my days a monochrome blur of deals and solitude. Grief is my shadow, a relentless specter I cannot outrun. My tailored suits hide a silent scream. My eyes betray a man hollowed by loss. I've built walls no one dares scale, colleagues keep their distance, my assistant Chloe treads lightly. Once, I dreamed of more, of a life warmed by love. But Eleanor's absence froze that hope. Her memory lingers in fleeting moments, her touch, her voice, her faith in me. Now, Sarah's dying words and Brenda's envelope have cracked that ice. I stand at a precipice, the letters weight heavier than my empire. Who am I without my grief? A man defined by loss, or one who might still change? 250 words. Eleanor's letter seared my soul. I volunteered at Liberty General's pediatric ward. Ethan, Sarah, Leo, Noah, they became my family. She'd hidden her work there, her breakthrough research to defeat cancer, and her final plea. Save them. In memory, I saw her kneeling in our Connecticut garden, planting daisies under a golden sun, her smile a beacon. "Live fully, Ethan," she'd said, her voice my compass. Now, it accused me of abandoning that call, of letting sorrow entomb me. I'd forgotten her warmth, her belief that love could heal. The letter was her hand reaching across time, pulling me from my stone shell. I saw her tending those flowers, each petal a promise, each root a defiance of despair. Her research, her love for Sarah's boys, was her rebellion against death's grip. I'd failed her, choosing isolation over her legacy. Standing there, clutching her words, I felt the earth shift beneath me. The daisy she loved still bloomed in my mind, wild and resilient, whispering of hope. Could I become the man she believed in? Her plea was a seed, buried but alive, demanding I nurture it. Manhattan's pulse mocked my solitude as I returned to my penthouse. Eleanor's letter clutched like a talisman. The city glittered below, but its light couldn't pierce my isolation. At Vance Holdings, I was a king, yet invisible as a man. My boardroom allies, executives in crisp suits, spoke to my title, not me. Their deference was a cold transaction, their eyes sliding past my grief. Chloe, my assistant, offered cautious smiles. But even she kept her distance, sensing my walls. I dined alone, the clink of silverware echoing in my sterile kitchen, each bite tasteless. Eleanor's absence was a wound no one saw, a weight I carried in silence. I avoided mirrors, fearing the hollow man staring back. Colleagues whispered of my ruthlessness, my heart a rumor they dismissed. I was a ghost in my own life, tethered to wealth, but severed from meaning. Eleanor's plea, to save Sarah, Leo, Noah, felt like a foreign language, one I'd forgotten how to speak. I imagined her disapproval, her eyes soft but firm, urging me to step beyond this cage. Yet fear held me. What if I failed her again? The letter lay on my desk, its words a quiet accusation. Outside, Central Park's trees swayed, their branches like fingers beckoning me to live. But I remained rooted, a man adrift in his own empire, unseen, untouched, a stranger to hope. Could I honor her wish, or was I too broken to try? The question gnawed, as relentless as the city's hum, demanding I face the void within. Victor Thorne, my R&D chief, sat across my desk, his smile sharp as a blade. "Ethan, you're distracted," he said, his voice smooth but laced with disdain. I'd trusted him, shared my vision for Vance Holdings' future, yet now his ambition bared its teeth. He'd learned of Eleanor's letter. How? I didn't know, and mocked its weight. A dying woman's whim? You're risking our empire for sentiment. His words stung, a betrayal from a man I'd mentored. He leaned closer, his eyes glinting. The board questions your focus. Step carefully, or I'll ensure they act. This was no idle threat. Victor craved my throne, his loyalty a mask now discarded. I felt Eleanor's trust in me falter, her memory tarnished by his scorn. My chest tightened, the letter's edges digging into my palm. I'd built this company with him, shared late nights strategizing. Yet he'd turned my grief into a weapon. The boardroom, once my sanctuary, felt like a trap, its walls closing in. Outside, the Hudson River gleamed, indifferent to my unraveling. Victor's betrayal echoed Eleanor's loss. Another bond severed, leaving me more alone. I wanted to scream, to shatter his smug certainty, but silence held me. Who else had I misjudged? The question burned, my empire now a house of mirrors, reflecting only doubt. Could I face this alone, or had I already lost? I drove to Liberty General Hospital, Eleanor's letter in my coat, its weight pulling me forward. The pediatric ward buzzed with life, a stark contrast to my sterile world. Nurse Brenda greeted me, her warmth disarming. "Sarah's stable, for now," she said, guiding me to a room where Sarah lay, pale but alive. Leo and Noah, her 6-year-old twins, colored nearby, their laughter a melody I'd forgotten. I hesitated, a stranger in their orbit. But Brenda urged me closer. "They need you," she said. I knelt, meeting Leo's curious eyes. "Are you Mom's friend?" he asked. I nodded, my throat tight. For the first time, I spoke Eleanor's name aloud, telling them she loved them. Sarah's weak smile mirrored Eleanor's, cracking my defenses. I wasn't ready, but their trust stirred something dormant. "Come back," Noah said, his small hand brushing mine. I promised I would, the words escaping before doubt could stop them. Driving home, the city felt different, its lights softer, like stars guiding me. I'd taken a step, small but real, defying Victor's scorn and my own fear. Eleanor's voice whispered in the wind, proud, urging me on. I wasn't whole, but I'd begun. Fear coiled in my chest as I sat in my penthouse, the city's glow a distant hum. Eleanor's letter lay open, its words a mirror to my inadequacy. Could I save Sarah, Leo, Noah? I'd promised them. But doubt gnawed at me. What if I failed, as I had with Eleanor? Her death replayed in my mind, her hand slipping from mine, her breath fading in that Connecticut hospital. I'd been powerless then, a titan reduced to ash. Now, Sarah's fragile life and her boy's trust felt like a burden I wasn't strong enough to carry. My empire, built on control, mocked my unraveling. I paced, the hardwood cold beneath my feet, each step echoing my dread. If I pursued Eleanor's project, I'd risk everything, my company, my reputation. Victor's threat lingered, his ambition a blade at my throat. I saw myself losing it all, alone again, with nothing but regret. The wind rattled the windows, like Eleanor's voice whispering my failure. I sank into a chair, my hands trembling, the letter's edges worn from my grip. Central Park's trees swayed below, their resilience a quiet rebuke to my cowardice. I feared becoming a man who'd let love die again, who'd let Eleanor's legacy crumble. The weight of her belief in me pressed down, heavy as the night. Was I still the man she'd loved, or just a shadow of him? The question burned, unanswered. As I stared into the dark, my heart a battlefield of hope and terror. Victor's voice boomed in the Vance Holdings boardroom, his accusation sharp as glass. "Ethan's lost focus," he declared, his eyes glinting with triumph. The board, men and women I'd led for years, shifted uncomfortably, their gazes avoiding mine. He'd spread rumors, twisted my visits to Liberty General into neglect of duty. "He's squandering resources on a personal crusade," Victor said, holding up a photo of me with Sarah's boys, stolen from who knows where. The image, meant to shame, showed Leo's smile, Noah's trust. My chest tightened, but I stayed silent, my hands clenched beneath the table. Victor's public attack was a calculated strike. His ambition bared before my allies. Whispers rippled, doubt seeding among the board. I felt exposed, a man stripped of armor, my grief and purpose mocked. Outside, the Manhattan skyline loomed, its steel indifferent to my unraveling. I wanted to fight, to defend Eleanor's dream, but fear of losing my empire held me. Victor leaned forward, his voice low. "Step down, Ethan, or I'll bury you." The threat landed like a stone, heavy with intent. My legacy, my life's work, teetered on his words. I saw Eleanor's face, her faith in me, and felt the sting of betraying it. The board waited. Their silence a judgment. Could I face this storm, or would I crumble? The question echoed, as relentless as the city's pulse, demanding I choose. I returned to Liberty General. The pediatric ward's warmth a stark contrast to my turmoil. Sarah, propped up in bed, offered a weak smile. Leo and Noah ran to me, their hugs a lifeline. "You came back," Noah said, his joy piercing my doubt. I knelt, their small hands grounding me. Brenda handed me a drawing, Eleanor's daisies, sketched by Leo. "She taught us to hope," he said. Those words cracked something in me. I saw Eleanor in their eyes, her strength alive in their trust. I couldn't let fear win. "I'll keep coming," I vowed, my voice steady. Sarah reached for my hand. "You're not alone," she whispered. Her words were a spark, igniting resolve. Driving home, the Hudson River gleamed, its current steady, like my emerging purpose. Victor's threats loomed, but I felt a shift. I wasn't just surviving, I was fighting for something greater. Eleanor's legacy wasn't a burden, it was a path. The city's lights flickered, like stars aligning. I gripped the wheel, my fear still there, but no longer my master. I'd faced the board, Victor, the world, for her, for them. A seed of will took root, fragile but alive, whispering of a man I might become. Curiosity stirred in me as I sat in my penthouse, Eleanor's letter open before me. Her words, about her research, Sarah, Leo, Noah, sparked questions I couldn't ignore. What had she discovered at Liberty General? Why had she kept it secret? I needed answers. I rifled through old emails. Her digital footprints faint but present. A message from her to Sarah caught my eye, dated months before her death. "The synthesis is viable. We're close." Synthesis? My mind raced. I drove to our Connecticut storage unit, the air heavy with dust and memory. There, among her books, I found a journal, its pages filled with chemical formulas and notes about pediatric cancer. Her handwriting danced, alive, urging me forward. I read late into the night, the city's hum a distant pulse. Each entry revealed her passion, her hope to save lives. But why hide it from me? Had I been too consumed by Vance Holdings to notice? Guilt gnawed, but curiosity burned brighter. I called Brenda, her voice warm through the phone. Eleanor worked late in the hospital lab. She said, "Sarah knows more." The puzzle grew, pieces scattered across time. Outside, Central Park's leaves rustled, their whispers echoing Eleanor's resolve. I wasn't ready, but I couldn't stop. This wasn't just about her legacy. It was about understanding her, reclaiming the man she'd loved. I'd find the truth, no matter the cost. The journal's weight in my hands felt like a promise. Its pages a map to a purpose I'd lost. At Liberty General, Sarah met me, her strength fragile but steady. She handed me a flash drive, her eyes bright with trust. "Eleanor's notes," she said. "Our breakthrough." I plugged it into my laptop, heart pounding. Files unfolded, diagrams, trials, a new drug synthesis. Eleanor's voice echoed in each line, her brilliance undeniable. But a note chilled me. "Victor suspects. He wants control." Victor Thorne, my R&D chief, had known. His betrayal cut deeper now. His boardroom threats a shadow over this discovery. Sarah's voice trembled. "He visited, asking questions." Eleanor feared he'd exploit it. A warning pulsed in me. Victor's ambition wasn't just personal, it threatened Eleanor's dream. I saw his smirk, his calculated moves to undermine me. The hospital's fluorescent lights buzzed, mirroring my unease. Sarah gripped my arm. "We need you to protect this, Ethan." Her words were a call, sharp as the wind over the Hudson River. I nodded, but doubt lingered. Could I outmaneuver Victor? Safeguard this fragile hope? The flash drive burned in my pocket, a secret now mine to carry. Outside, the city loomed, its skyline a challenge. Eleanor's research was a light, but Victor's shadow loomed large. I'd uncovered a truth, but with it, a danger I couldn't ignore. I stood in my office, the flash drive on my desk, Eleanor's journal beside it. Victor's threat echoed, but I saw Sarah's face, Leo's drawing, Noah's trust. I couldn't turn back. "I'll fund it," I declared to Chloe, my voice firm. Eleanor's research, with Sarah leading. It's what she wanted. Chloe's eyes widened, but she nodded, typing furiously. I'd move millions from Vance Holdings, quietly, to a new fund. Victor would fight. The board might resist, but I'd risk it all. Eleanor's words rang. Save them. I saw her in our garden, daisies in her hair, her faith my anchor. This was my stand, my rebellion against fear. I called Sarah, her voice a lifeline. "We start tomorrow," I said. She exhaled, hope in her breath. The decision felt like stepping into sunlight after years in shadow. Outside, Manhattan's lights flickered, a constellation of possibility. I knew the cost, Victor's wrath, the board's doubt, but I'd fight for Eleanor's legacy, for Sarah, for the boys. This wasn't just a project, it was my redemption. I wrote a memo, my pen steady. The Eleanor Vance initiative begins now. The words were a vow, etched in my soul, a promise to be more than the man I'd been. The city hummed, alive, and for the first time, I felt part of it. I stood in Vance Holdings' finance office, my heart pounding as I signed the transfer order. $10 million, rerouted from corporate funds to a new account for Eleanor's research. Now called the Eleanor Vance Initiative. It was reckless, bypassing the board, defying Victor's influence, but I couldn't wait. Sarah's life, Leo and Noah's future, depended on it. I handed the documents to Chloe, her eyes wide with shock. "This could end you," she whispered. I nodded, feeling the weight, but driven by Eleanor's plea. I saw her in memory, her hands in Connecticut soil, planting hope. The city's pulse throbbed outside, Manhattan's towers indifferent to my gamble. I drove to Liberty General, the flash drive in my pocket, and met Sarah in her hospital room. "It's funded," I told her, my voice steady. Her weak smile was sunlight, her hand squeezing mine. "Eleanor knew you'd do this," she said. I felt exposed. A man stepping into a role I barely understood. Victor's threats loomed, his ambition a storm gathering. The hospital's hum buzzed, a reminder of time slipping away. I left, the weight of my choice settling in. Central Park's trees swayed, their branches like Eleanor's fingers urging me on. I'd crossed a line, no turning back. The money was a lifeline, but it came with risks I couldn't yet see. My empire trembled, but for the first time, I felt alive, tethered to something greater than myself. Sarah's trust, Eleanor's dream, they were my compass now. The funds hit the initiative's account, and Sarah's team began work in the hospital lab. A small victory, their first test showed promise, a hint of Eleanor's synthesis stabilizing. I visited, watching scientists in white coats, their focus a tribute to her. Leo and Noah greeted me, their hugs a warmth I craved. "Mom's stronger today," Leo said. His drawing of daisies now taped to Sarah's bed. But obstacles emerged. Victor, sniffing the money trail, cornered me in my office. "You're embezzling," he hissed, his eyes cold. "The board will crucify you." He'd leaked whispers to a financial reporter, sowing doubt. My phone buzzed with Chloe's warning. "They're asking questions." My stomach churned. I hadn't covered my tracks well enough, too focused on speed. The Hudson River gleamed outside, its current steady, mocking my misstep. I met Sarah, her face pale but determined. "We're close, Ethan. Don't stop." Her words steadied me, but Victor's threat was a noose tightening. I saw Eleanor's face, her faith in me, and felt the sting of risking her legacy. The lab's progress was fragile. The reporter's questions a growing shadow. I'd won a step, but the cost was mounting. Could I outpace Victor's schemes? The city's lights flickered, a challenge I had to meet. For Sarah, for the boys. For the woman who'd believed in me. I sat in my penthouse, the flash drive and Eleanor's journal before me. Victor's words echoed, but Sarah's voice cut through. Don't stop. I wouldn't. I looked in the mirror, seeing a man no longer defined by grief. I'm in this, I said aloud, my voice a vow. I called Chloe, directing her to secure the funds legally, to shield the initiative. I wrote to Sarah, promising more resources, my pen steady. The boys' faces, Leo's curiosity, Noah's trust, fueled me. I saw Eleanor in our garden, her smile a beacon. This wasn't just about research. It was about becoming the man she'd loved, one who chose love over fear. I walked to my window, Manhattan's skyline alive, its energy mine. Victor could scheme, the board could doubt, but I'd fight. The initiative was my stand, a rebellion against my old self. I tore up an old photo of me alone, letting the pieces fall. Outside, the wind carried Central Park's whispers like Eleanor's voice. Proud. I wasn't the titan I'd been, nor the broken man I'd become. I was Ethan, hers, theirs, and I'd see this through. The journal's pages glowed in the lamplight, a map to redemption I'd follow. No matter the storm. The Vance Holdings annual gala filled a Manhattan ballroom, chandeliers casting golden light on suited elites. I stepped to the podium, heart racing. Eleanor's journal in my pocket, the flash drive's weight grounding me. Victor's leaks had poisoned the air, headlines screamed of my misuse of funds for the Eleanor Vance initiative. The board, shareholders, and press watched, their eyes sharp, waiting for me to falter. I gripped the podium, the city's skyline visible through towering windows, its pulse urging me on. Tonight, I began. Voice steady. I honor my wife, Eleanor, and her dream to save lives. I revealed her research, projecting her notes on a screen, her handwriting a beacon. Gasps rippled as I named Sarah, Leo, Noah. Their faces in a photo beside Eleanor's daisies. This is why I redirected funds, I said, defiance rising. Victor, in the front row, smirked, his confidence ablade. I pressed on. Detailing the initiative's early success, Sarah's team on the cusp of a breakthrough. The room stilled, my words cutting through doubt. I saw Eleanor in memory, her smile fierce, urging me to stand tall. The Hudson River gleamed outside, its flow a quiet ally. I wasn't just defending myself. I was unveiling a truth larger than my empire. The crowd's murmurs grew, some nodding, others whispering. I'd lit a spark, but Victor's shadow loomed, his counterattack inevitable. This was my stand, public and raw, for Eleanor, for hope, for a legacy worth fighting for. Victor rose, his voice slicing through the murmurs. Ethan's lying, he declared, holding up falsified documents, claiming I'd siphoned millions for personal gain. The crowd shifted, doubt creeping in. I stayed calm, signaling Chloe. She handed me a tablet, its screen glowing with evidence, an email chain, Victor's orders to manipulate accounts, his plan to seize control. I projected it, each word damning. This is the truth, I said, my voice unwavering. The room erupted, reporters scribbling, shareholders gasping. Victor's face paled, his smirk gone. I revealed more. His attempts to sabotage Eleanor's research, his threats to Sarah. Brenda, in the crowd, nodded, her presence a quiet strength. I saw Eleanor's garden, daisies defiant in sunlight. But from truth, Central Park's trees swayed beyond the windows, their roots deep, like the resolve I'd found. Victor's betrayal was exposed, his ambition a house of cards collapsing. I'd risked everything, but the crowd's eyes softened, some meeting mine with respect. The tide was turning, but I knew this was only a step. Eleanor's legacy demanded more, and I was ready to give it. The gala's aftermath buzzed, the crowd's energy shifting. A reporter approached, her tone gentle. Why risk it all, Ethan? I spoke of Eleanor, her love for Sarah's boys, her research to save lives. My words aired on evening news, clips spreading online. Strangers commented, he's fighting for something real. At Liberty General, Sarah showed me her phone, messages pouring in donations. Support for the initiative. Leo and Noah hugged me, their joy a warmth I'd forgotten. A board member called, his voice gruff but kind. We're reviewing Victor's actions. The shift was fragile, but real. I walked through Central Park, its paths alive with spring, petals falling like Eleanor's whispers. The city felt different, its hum no longer cold. I wasn't absolved, doubts lingered. Headlines wavered, but people saw me, not just the CEO. Brenda sent a text, Eleanor's proud. I felt her in the breeze, her faith my anchor. The crowd's applause at the gala echoed, not for my wealth, but for my stand. I'd bared my soul, and they'd listened. The initiative gained traction, its promise spreading. I wasn't alone anymore. A community stirred, drawn to a cause greater than me. The fight wasn't over, but I'd earned a moment of hope, fragile as dawn, strong as roots. I sat in my penthouse, the city's lights a distant blur, Victor's defeat at the gala a hollow victory. The applause, the headlines, they faded, leaving me with a gnawing doubt. Had I done right by Eleanor? Her journal lay open, its pages accusing me of risking her dream for pride. I'd exposed Victor. But at what cost? The board's support was tentative, the initiative's funds scrutinized. What if I destabilized everything she'd trusted me to protect? I saw Sarah's frail form, Leo and Noah's trusting eyes, and wondered if I was enough. My wealth, my power, none shielded me from failure. I'd poured millions into her research, but what if it faltered? The mirror reflected a man I barely knew, lines etched by grief, not triumph. Eleanor's faith in me felt like a weight I couldn't carry. Had I acted for her, or to prove something to myself? The question stung, sharp as the wind rattling my windows. Central Park's trees stood silent below, their steadiness mocking my unraveling. I'd fought for her legacy, but doubt whispered I'd fail again, as I had when she died. My chest tightened, the city's hum a relentless judge. Was I still the man who'd let her slip away, or had I changed? The silence offered no answers, only the echo of my fear, raw and unyielding, demanding I face the truth within. Memories flooded me, dark and heavy, as I paced the penthouse. I saw Eleanor in her final days, her hand cold in mine, her breath fading in that Connecticut hospital. Live, Ethan, she'd whispered, but I hadn't. I'd buried myself in work and solitude, fearing I didn't deserve her love. Now, her legacy, Sarah, the boys, the research, demanded I be more, but terror gripped me. What if I lost them too? The thought was a knife, twisting deep. I sank to the floor, my hands trembling, seeing Leo's drawing, Noah's smile. If I failed, their hope died with me. My fear wasn't just failure, it was being unworthy. A man who couldn't save what mattered. I saw my childhood, my father's cold voice, "You're never enough." That wound, buried for decades, bled anew. The Hudson River gleamed outside, its current indifferent to my panic. I clutched Eleanor's journal, its pages a lifeline, but my heart raced, lost in a storm of self-loathing. Could I carry this burden, or was I doomed to break? The question echoed, relentless, as I stared into the dark, my soul laid bare. Have you ever felt the weight of being less than you need to be? I rose, the journal in my hands, and walked to the window. Manhattan's skyline pulsed, alive, and I saw Eleanor's garden in my mind, daisies blooming despite frost. I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't that broken boy anymore, nor the man who'd hidden from love. I'm enough, I whispered, the words a rebellion against doubt. I'd faltered, but I'd also fought, exposed Victor, funded the initiative, earned Sarah's trust. I wrote in the journal's margins, "For you, I'll keep going." The act felt sacred, a vow to her, to myself. Central Park's trees swayed, their roots deep, like the strength I was finding. I didn't need to be flawless, just relentless. Eleanor had believed in me, not as a titan, but as a man who could love. I'd faced the board, the doubts, the fear, for her, for Sarah, for the boys. The city's lights flickered, a constellation of hope. I stood taller, my breath steady, the mirror now showing a man reclaiming his soul. I'd stumble, but I'd rise. Each step a testament to a purpose I'd chosen, a legacy I'd carry, no matter the cost. The gala's aftermath split the world in two. Online, my name trended, a lightning rod for praise and venom. Supporters called me a hero, sharing clips of my speech, their comments glowing. Ethan's fighting for kids like mine. Others, swayed by Victor's leaks, branded me a fraud, a CEO looting his empire for glory. Vance's a liar, one post read, racking up thousands of likes. News outlets clashed, some hailed the Eleanor Vance initiative. Others dug for scandal, their headlines sharp. Vance's gamble, vision or deception? At Liberty General, Sarah showed me a donation surge, but her eyes betrayed worry. The board emailed, their tone cold, "Explain yourself." Chloe fielded calls from reporters, her voice strained. I walked through Central Park, its paths crowded, yet I felt exposed, a man dissected by strangers' words. The trees stood tall, their leaves whispering Eleanor's courage, but the city's pulse felt hostile, its hum a chorus of judgment. I wanted to scream my truth, but doubt lingered. Had I invited this chaos? Social media churned, splitting my legacy into saint or sinner. I saw Leo's drawing in my mind, Noah's trust, and clung to them. The divide wasn't just public, it was personal, tearing at my resolve. Could I bridge this chasm, or would it swallow Eleanor's dream? The question burned, raw, as I stood beneath an oak. Its roots a quiet call to endure. Victor struck back, his vengeance surgical. At a press conference, he stood before flashing cameras, his face a mask of righteous fury. Ethan's unstable, he declared, unveiling doctored financials, alleging I'd funneled millions for personal gain. He twisted Sarah's illness, calling her a prop, her boys a ploy. He's exploiting tragedy, he said, his voice dripping venom. The crowd gasped, reporters scribbling. He produced a forged email, claiming I'd planned to sell Eleanor's research for profit. My phone buzzed, Chloe, frantic. It's everywhere. Social media erupted, hashtags like #VanceFraud trending. A board member called, demanding my resignation. Victor's lies were a blade, cutting deeper than his gala betrayal. I saw Eleanor's garden, daisies wilting under frost, her legacy tainted by his words. The Hudson River flowed outside my office, its current unmoved by my unraveling. I wanted to fight, to expose his fraud, but his narrative gripped the public, painting me as the villain. Sarah's text arrived. Don't give up. Her faith stung, a reminder of what I risked losing. Victor's counterattack wasn't just corporate. It was personal, aiming to erase my purpose. The city's skyline loomed, a challenge I was losing. Could I reclaim the truth, or had he already won? The weight of his lies pressed down, relentless, demanding I find a way. Sarah's health crashed, her body failing as I stood in Liberty General's ICU. Machines beeped, her breath shallow. Leo and Noah clinging to me, their eyes wide with fear. Is Mom okay? Noah whispered. I had no answer. Victor's lies tightened the noose. Board members called, threatening to freeze the initiative's funds. A reporter ambushed me outside, her camera invasive. Are you a fraud, Mr. Vance? My silence fueled their narrative. Chloe warned of a shareholder revolt, Victor's allies pushing for my ouster. I drove home, the city's lights blurring, my empire slipping away. Sarah's life hung by a thread, the boy's future on my shoulders. I saw Eleanor's face, her faith fading. Had I risked too much? The penthouse felt like a cage, its walls closing in. Central Park's trees stood dark, their strength distant. I was cornered, my choices narrowing, save Sarah or my company, but not both. Victor's lies, the board's doubt, Sarah's crisis, they trapped me. I clutched Eleanor's journal. Its pages heavy, my resolve fraying. The city hummed, indifferent, as I stood at my window, a man pushed to the edge. Could I find a path through this, or was I doomed to lose it all? The question echoed, a storm within, demanding I fight or fall. In Liberty General's dim hallway, as Sarah fought for life, Nurse Brenda Olson found me. Leo and Noah slept nearby, their small forms curled in hospital chairs. I was unraveling, Victor's lies and the board's threats closing in. Brenda sat beside me, her eyes steady, her voice soft but firm. Ethan, I believe in you, she said, her hand resting on mine. Eleanor did too. Her words pierced my despair, a lifeline in the storm. She'd seen Eleanor's work, her late nights in the lab, her love for Sarah's boys. You're not alone, Brenda added, handing me a photo of Eleanor with Leo, both smiling, daisies tucked in their hair. The image burned, a reminder of what I fought for. Brenda's faith, unasked for, was a spark. I saw Central Park's oaks in my mind, their roots deep, like her quiet strength. She'd been there, delivering Eleanor's letter, guiding me to Sarah. Now, she stood with me, a witness to my struggle. The hospital's hum faded, replaced by her conviction. I wasn't just a CEO to her, I was Ethan, a man worth believing in. The weight of her trust steadied me, a beacon against Victor's shadow. Outside, the city's lights flickered, less hostile now. Could I carry this forward with her by my side? The question lingered. But Brenda's presence answered. I didn't have to face it alone. Her belief, simple and fierce, was my first ally, a step toward light. Brenda and I met at Sarah's bedside, her monitors beeping softly. We talked, our voices low, building a bridge of trust. Eleanor trusted Sarah to lead the research, Brenda said, sharing stories of their late-night talks, their shared hope for a cure. I opened up, my fears spilling out. Victor's lies, the board's doubt, Sarah's fading strength. Brenda listened, her nod a silent vow. We'll protect her legacy, she said, her eyes meeting mine. Together, we planned. She'd rally hospital staff. I'd secure more funds. I gave her Eleanor's journal, its pages a shared mission. Our bond grew, rooted in Eleanor's dream. I saw her garden, daisies swaying. Their resilience ours. Brenda brought me to the pediatric ward, where nurses whispered support, their faith in Sarah's work unwavering. I felt Eleanor's presence, her warmth in our pact. The Hudson River flowed outside, its current a steady ally. Brenda's trust wasn't just personal, it was a spark for others. We shared a coffee, its warmth grounding me, our silence rich with purpose. I wasn't alone anymore. Her belief tethered me to hope. The city's pulse softened, its hum a chorus of possibility. Could we turn this trust into action? The question hung. But our connection answered, a quiet strength blooming. With Brenda, I was ready to fight, not just for Sarah, but for a future Eleanor had seen. The hospital rallied, a ripple growing into a wave. Nurses spread word of the initiative, their posts online gaining traction. A doctor shared a video, praising Sarah's work, tagging me as its champion. Comments flooded in. Keep going, Ethan. Donors pledged thousands, strangers moved by Eleanor's story. At the ward, Leo drew me a new Daisy, Noah's hug tighter. Sarah, waking briefly, whispered, "You're doing it." Her words fueled me. Chloe called, excited. The board's hesitating, public support's shifting. Social media buzzed, hashtags like hashtag Eleanor Vance trending. A local news station ran a segment, interviewing Brenda. Her voice steady. This is for kids like Leo and Noah. The community's strength stunned me, their voices drowning out Victor's lies. I walked through Central Park, petals falling like hope. The city alive with our cause. Strangers recognized me, offering nods, one saying, "You're not what they say." The tide was turning, not just for me, but for Eleanor's dream. Her legacy wasn't mine alone, it was theirs, ours. The board's threats loomed, but this groundswell felt unstoppable. I saw Eleanor's smile, her faith in humanity now mine. Could this wave carry us through? The city's lights answered, bright and fierce, a constellation of support I'd never expected, binding us in a fight for life. Victor's return was a storm. His fury unleashed on national television. He stood before a news anchor, his eyes cold, accusing me of fraud and mental instability. Ethan Vance is unhinged, he declared. Waving forged medical records claiming I'd suffered a breakdown. He twisted my past, dredging up a college incident, a minor scandal I'd buried, to paint me as reckless. Social media ignited. His lies trending. Hashtag Vance collapse. He rallied board allies, pushing a vote to oust me, their emails flooding my inbox, resign or face ruin. Reporters swarmed Vance Holdings, their cameras invasive. Shouting, "Is Victor right?" My phone buzzed, Chloe, frantic. "He's got insiders leaking to tabloids." Victor's attack wasn't just corporate. It was personal, aiming to erase my credibility. Eleanor's legacy. I saw Sarah's frail form, Leo and Noah's trust, and felt my resolve waver. The city's pulse throbbed outside, Manhattan's skyline a gauntlet. Central Park's trees stood silent, their strength distant as I gripped Eleanor's journal. Victor's lies were a tidal wave, threatening to drown the initiative's progress. A donor pulled funding, spooked by the headlines. I saw Eleanor's garden, daisies crushed under frost, her dream slipping away. His assault was relentless, each accusation a blade cutting deeper than before. Could I withstand this? Or had he finally broken me? The question burned, raw, as the Hudson River flowed, indifferent to my unraveling, demanding I find strength or fall. I faced Victor in the Vance Holdings boardroom. The city's skyline framing our showdown. The board watched, their faces tense, as I stood, Eleanor's journal in hand. "Victor's lying," I said, voice steady, projecting his forged records, exposing their inconsistencies. Chloe handed me a tablet, bank statements proving his embezzlement, his plan to sabotage the initiative. "He betrayed us," I said, my eyes locked on his. Victor sneered. But I pressed on, revealing Brenda's testimony, Sarah's lab logs, Eleanor's notes. Each truth was a blow, his composure cracking. I spoke of Leo and Noah, their hope tied to the research he tried to bury. The board stirred, whispers growing. I saw Eleanor smile, her faith fueling me. This is her legacy, I said, voice rising. And I won't let you destroy it. Victor lunged, accusing me of slander, but a board member stood, silencing him. Enough, she said. The room stilled, the Hudson's gleam outside a quiet ally. I felt the tide turn, my heart pounding, not with fear, but purpose. Central Park's oaks loomed in my mind, their roots deep, like the truth I'd bared. Victor's lies crumbled, his allies faltering. I'd faced him, not as a titan, but as a man fighting for love. The board's eyes met mine, respect flickering. This wasn't victory yet, but it was close, a moment of clarity in the storm. The board voted Victor was out, his schemes exposed. News outlets pivoted, headlines now praising the initiative. Vance clears name, saves lives. Social media shifted. Hashtag Eleanor Vance trending with support. Donors returned, funds surging for Sarah's lab. At Liberty General, Sarah stabilized, her smile weak but real. Leo and Noah hugged me. Their joy a warmth I'd earned. Brenda nodded, her pride silent but fierce. I held a press conference, announcing the initiative's open-source model, prioritizing lives over profit. The crowd cheered. Cameras flashing, strangers sharing my words online. He's real. The board reinstated me, their trust restored. I walked through Central Park, petals falling like hope. The city's hum now a song of triumph. Eleanor's garden bloomed in my mind, daisies defiant, her legacy secure. The truth had won, not just for me, but for Sarah, the boys. The countless lives her research would touch. I saw her smile, felt her hand in mine. The fight wasn't over, but this moment, raw, radiant, was ours. The skyline glowed, a constellation of purpose. Whispering of a future I'd build, rooted in love, unyielding as the oaks. That instant, I knew. I'd walked the path she'd set, and it was enough. Victory over Victor left scars I hadn't expected. The board's trust returned, but friendships didn't. Colleagues who doubted me kept their distance, their nods polite but cold. My reputation, once ironclad, now carried whispers. Some still believed Victor's lies, calling me reckless online. A key investor pulled out, spooked by the chaos, costing Vance Holdings millions. At home, my penthouse felt emptier, the silence heavy without Sarah's boys to fill it. I'd saved the initiative, but lost allies, their absence a quiet ache. I walked through Central Park. Its paths strewn with fallen leaves, each one a reminder of what I'd sacrificed. Eleanor's journal sat on my desk, its pages a comfort, but also a mirror to my isolation. I'd fought for her dream. But the cost was steep, relationships frayed, my empire bruised. I saw Leo's drawing, Noah's smile, and wondered if it was enough. The city's hum felt distant, its pulse no longer mine. Had I traded too much for truth? The question lingered, sharp as the wind cutting through the park's oaks. I'd won, but the victory was bittersweet, its weight settling in my bones. Eleanor's garden bloomed in my mind, daisies resilient, but I felt their roots strained, like my own. The fight had changed me, stripping away connections I'd taken for granted, leaving me to face a world I'd reshaped, alone. I stood at my window, Manhattan's skyline stark against the dawn. The losses were real, friends, trust, stability, but I couldn't undo them. I accepted the cost, not as punishment, but as the price of Eleanor's legacy. I wrote to Sarah, promising to keep going, my pen steady. At Liberty General, her condition held. Her boys' hugs grounding me. You're still here, Leo said, his trust a balm. I let go of the need for approval, the board's or the city's. Central Park's trees swayed, their branches whispering resilience, like Eleanor's voice urging me to stand tall. I'd lost allies, but gained purpose, a trait I embraced. The Hudson River flowed, its current a reminder that life moved forward, scars and all. I stopped checking social media, let the headlines fade. My empire would heal, or it wouldn't. Either way, I was more than its CEO. I saw Eleanor's smile, her faith in me, and felt the weight lift, not gone, but bearable. The consequences weren't chains, they were roots, grounding me in a new truth. I drove to our Connecticut storage, retrieving her old daisy planter, its cracks a map of my journey. I wasn't whole, but I was enough, ready to live with the fallout for her, for them, for me. I began rebuilding, not my empire, but myself. I invited Leo and Noah to my penthouse, their laughter filling its sterile halls. I hired Maria, a kind housekeeper, to make it a home. Her warmth a quiet gift. The boys' drawings covered my walls, daisies everywhere. I worked with Sarah's team, funding lab trials, my focus sharp, not for profit, but for life. At night, I wrote in Eleanor's journal, my words a dialogue with her, with the man I was becoming. I walked Central Park daily, its earth grounding me, its oaks my witnesses. I wasn't the titan I'd been, nor the ghost I'd become. I was Ethan, flawed but alive, shaped by loss, grown by love. The city's lights softened, their glow a promise. I spoke at a hospital fundraiser, my voice raw. Sharing Eleanor's dream, the crowd's applause warm, not for my wealth, but my heart. I saw her garden, daisies thriving, their petals my guide. I'd lost much, but found more purpose, family. A path forward. The skyline stretched, a canvas for my new life, rooted in her legacy, unyielding as the earth beneath my feet. Sarah saw me, not the CEO, but the man beneath, at Liberty General. As she gained strength, we sat in the hospital garden, Leo and Noah playing nearby. Her eyes, clear now, held no judgment, only understanding. You've carried so much, Ethan, she said. Her voice soft, like the breeze rustling the garden's daisies. She saw my grief, my fear of failing Eleanor, my struggle to be enough. You're more than your mistakes, she added. Her hand brushing mine. Her words cracked my defenses, a mirror reflecting not my flaws, but my heart. I told her of my doubts, my lost allies, Victor's wounds. She listened, her silence a gift. Seeing the Ethan Eleanor had loved, I saw her garden in my mind, daisies blooming despite frost, their resilience hers, mine. Sarah's faith, like Brenda's, wasn't in my wealth, but in my soul. The city's hum faded, the garden's earth grounding me. Central Park's oaks stood tall in memory, their roots deep, like her trust. She handed me a daisy, plucked by Noah, its petals bright. You're enough, she said, echoing Eleanor. The weight of her gaze lifted me, a moment of being truly seen, raw and whole. The Hudson River gleamed beyond, its flow a quiet hymn. Could I live up to her belief? The question softened, answered by her presence, a light guiding me home. I sat in my penthouse, Eleanor's journal open, and wrote a letter I'd never send. To my old self, I forgave the man who'd hidden in grief, who'd failed to see Eleanor's work. You were lost, but you tried, I wrote, my pen steady. To Victor, I released the anger. His betrayal a shadow I no longer carried. You hurt me, but I'm free, I scrawled, the words a weight lifted. To Eleanor, I whispered forgiveness for my blindness, for not cherishing her enough. I'm living for you now, I vowed, tears falling, the first in years. The act was a cleansing, my heart unburdened, not for them, but for me. I saw her garden, daisies swaying, their roots my own. Growing through pain. Central Park's wind whispered outside, carrying my release. I forgave the bored, the doubters, their fear no longer mine. The city's lights glowed, soft, a canvas of peace. I wasn't erasing the past, but embracing it, scars and all. The Hudson's current flowed, steady, like my resolve. I tore the letter, letting its pieces fall, a quiet rebellion against regret. Sarah's words echoed, you're enough. I believed her, my soul lighter, ready to carry Eleanor's dream without chains. The journal's pages glowed, a testament to a man forgiving himself. Whole at last, I planted Eleanor's daisy planter in the hospital garden, its cracks filled with new soil. Leo and Noah helped, their small hands patting earth, their laughter a melody of healing. Sarah watched, her smile radiant, her strength returning. The daisy, once wilted, now thrived, its petals bright against the green, a symbol of my renewal. I knelt. The dirt under my nails a sacrament, connecting me to Eleanor's love, her faith. Each root was a promise kept, each leaf a wound mended. Central Park's oaks loomed in my mind. Their strength mirrored in this act, small but eternal. The city's hum softened, its pulse now mine, alive with purpose. I saw Eleanor's garden, daisies dancing, their resilience my own. The planter stood, a beacon of what I'd overcome: grief, doubt, betrayal. Noah placed a pebble beside it, Leo a drawn daisy, their gift sealing the moment. The Hudson River sparkled, its light blessing the earth. This wasn't just healing, it was rebirth, a testament to love's endurance. I stood, my hands earthy, my heart full, the garden a mirror of my soul, growing, unyielding, alive. The daisy bloomed, a quiet vow to carry on, for her, for them, for me. Each morning, I brew coffee in my penthouse, the aroma grounding me as sunlight spills through the windows. The storm, Victor's lies, Sarah's crisis, has passed, leaving a quiet strength. I walk to Liberty General, Leo and Noah's laughter greeting me, their drawings now framing my walls. Sarah, stronger now, works in the lab, her smile a beacon. My life is simpler, no longer ruled by boardroom battles. I've stepped back, letting trusted deputies run Vance Holdings. My focus on the Eleanor Vance Initiative. Central Park's paths guide my daily walks, their earth steady beneath my feet, oaks whispering resilience. The city's hum is softer, its pulse mine. Alive with purpose. I visit the hospital garden, Eleanor's daisy planter thriving, a reminder of what endures. Maria, my housekeeper, hums as she arranges the boys' toys. Her warmth making my home alive. I drive to Connecticut sometimes, tending our old garden, Eleanor's daisies blooming wild. The Hudson River sparkles, its flow a quiet hymn to renewal. My days are filled with small acts, reading to the boys, funding lab trials, listening to Sarah's hopes. The skyline stretches, no longer a gauntlet, but a canvas of possibility. I'm not the titan I was, nor the ghost I became. I'm Ethan, rooted in love, living for more than myself. The calm after the storm is my home, a life rebuilt on Eleanor's faith, steady as the earth. I've turned my fight into a gift for others. At Liberty General, I launched the Eleanor Vance Pediatric Fund, a nonprofit to support families like Sarah's. I meet parents in the ward, their eyes heavy with fear, and share my story, Eleanor's dream, Sarah's courage, the boys' hope. Donations pour in, funding treatments, easing burdens. I volunteer, reading to kids. Their giggles a salve. Brenda and I organize hospital events, bringing music and art to the wards, laughter echoing where pain once ruled. I fund scholarships for nurses like Brenda, their compassion my inspiration. Central Park's oaks stand tall in my mind, their roots like the connections I'm building. I visit Sarah's lab, her team's breakthroughs saving lives. Each success a tribute to Eleanor. I speak at community centers, sharing how loss led to purpose, urging others to act. The Hudson River flows, its current carrying my resolve. I've hired tutors for Leo and Noah, their futures bright, their trust my anchor. My wealth, once a shield, now builds bridges, hospital wings, research grants, hope. Eleanor's garden blooms in my heart, daisies defiant, their strength mine to share. No one should face their storm alone. I'm not saving the world, but I'm saving someone's world, and that's enough. A legacy grown from love, for her, for them. I stand in the hospital garden, speaking to a crowd, my story now theirs. Eleanor's legacy lives in us, I say, pointing to the daisy planter. Leo and Noah by my side. The audience, nurses, families, strangers, nods, their eyes bright. I share our journey, from grief to triumph, urging them to tell their stories. Your pain has power, I say. Voice raw. Online, my talk spread, comments flooding. You gave me courage. Hashtags like hashtag Eleanor Vance Inspires trend, connecting thousands. I host forums, families sharing their fights. Their voices a chorus of hope. Central Park's petals fall, like stories blooming, the city alive with our cause. Sarah speaks too, her recovery a miracle, inspiring others to persevere. Brenda rallies nurses, their posts amplifying our message. The initiative grows, a community bound by love, not profit. I see Eleanor's smile, her faith in humanity now mine. The skyline glows. A constellation of shared dreams. I ask the crowd to share their truths, to light someone's dark. Who's next? I say, the garden humming, daisy swaying. The Hudson's light dances. A promise of connection. My story isn't mine alone. It's theirs, ours, a call to rise, to heal, to build. Tell me, what's your story? It might save someone tomorrow. I drove to our old Connecticut home, the place where Eleanor's death had broken me. The garden, once her sanctuary, stood quiet, daisies wild under a soft September sun. I walked the path where we'd laughed, her hand in mine, now a ghost in my memory. The house loomed, its windows dark, holding the echo of her final days, her breath fading. My helplessness a wound that had defined me. I knelt by the garden, touching the soil, its warmth a faint pulse of her love. This was where I lost myself, where grief had built my walls. Central Park's oaks flickered in my mind, their roots deep. urging me to face this pain. I wasn't the man who'd left here, hollow and cold. The Hudson River's flow whispered nearby, its rhythm steady. Like Eleanor's faith. I traced to Daisy's petals, their resilience mine now. The air carried her laugh, not a haunt, but a call to heal. I stood, the house no longer a tomb, but a chapter closed. The city's hum was distant, Manhattan's skyline a memory, this earth my anchor. I'd carried this hurt too long, letting it shape me. Now, I saw it anew, not as defeat, but as the soil where I'd grown. Could I leave this pain behind? The garden answered, its blooms bright, a testament to love enduring, guiding me forward. I met Victor at a quiet cafe in Manhattan, months after his fall. He sat, diminished, his eyes avoiding mine, no longer the predator who'd tried to ruin me. I didn't come to accuse, but to reclaim myself. You hurt me, I said, voice calm, but I'm here to let it go. He flinched, expecting anger, but I spoke of Eleanor, her legacy, the boy's laughter. I was blind, he admitted, voice low. Ambition consumed me. His words weren't an apology, but a confession, raw and human. I saw Eleanor's garden, daisies swaying, their grace in my release. The cafe's hum faded, Central Park's wind a whisper outside, carrying my forgiveness. I didn't need his remorse, only my freedom. I've changed, I said, and I hope you can. He nodded, a flicker of shame in his eyes. The Hudson's light danced through the window, its flow a quiet witness. I spoke of Sarah's recovery, the initiative's reach, my voice steady, not to wound, but to close a door. Victor listened, his silence heavy, a man facing his own mirror. I stood, leaving the past with him, my heart light. The city's pulse softened, its rhythm mine. Could I walk away whole? The question dissolved, answered by the earth beneath my feet, rooted in love. Unburdened at last. Victor's nod lingered as I left the cafe, a silent acknowledgement of our shared change. He wasn't redeemed, but he was different, his arrogance softened by consequence. I'd changed too, not the titan who'd mentored him, nor the ghost he'd betrayed, but Ethan, shaped by Eleanor's love, Sarah's trust, the boy's joy. Central Park greeted me, its oaks tall, their leaves falling like old wounds. I walked, the city's skyline bright, no longer a challenge, but a home. Victor's shame mirrored my own growth, a quiet truce in our glances. The Hudson River sparkled, its current a hymn to renewal. I saw Eleanor's daisies, blooming despite frost, their strength ours. No words were needed, just that nod. A recognition that pain had reshaped us both. I wasn't his judge, nor he my enemy. We were men, flawed, moving forward. The city hummed, alive, its pulse a chorus of second chances. Sarah's smile, Leo's drawings, Noah's hugs. They were my truth now, not Victor's lies. I stood by the park's edge, the earth steady, my soul whole. Could we both rise from this? The skyline answered, its lights warm. A canvas of possibility, rooted in the garden I'd reclaimed, growing, always, for her, for me. I stand in the hospital garden, daisies swaying, and feel no regret for this path. The battles, Victor's lies, the board's doubt, Sarah's crisis, were worth it. I lost allies, wealth, my old self, but gained a life rooted in love. Leo and Noah's laughter fills my penthouse. Sarah's recovery a miracle I helped forge. The Eleanor Vance initiative thrives, saving lives. Its light Eleanor's dream made real. I see her in Connecticut, planting daisies, her smile my guide. The cost was high, sleepless nights, public scorn, but I'd choose it again. Central Park's oaks rise in my mind, their roots deep, like my resolve. The city's hum is warm. Manhattan's skyline a testament to what endures. I was a ghost, caged by grief, but this journey freed me. I carried Eleanor's letter, faced my fears, and became the man she believed in. The Hudson River flows, its current a hymn to purpose. Regret is a shadow I don't cast. Each step, each scar, built this life. I touch the daisy planter, its cracks a map of my growth. Sarah's hand in mine, the boy's trust, these are my riches. The garden blooms, fierce, a mirror of my heart. Could I have walked another road? The earth answers, steady beneath my feet. No path, but this could have brought me home, to her, to them, to me. The pain I once cursed is now my teacher. Grief, betrayal, doubt, they carved me, not to break, but to shape. Losing Eleanor shattered me, but her letter, her love, rebuilt me. Victor's lies, the board's coldness, taught me resilience. The the strength to stand alone. Sarah's fragility, the boy's vulnerability, showed me love's power, fiercer than any empire. I see Central Park's leaves fall, each a lesson, like daisies enduring frost. The Hudson's light dances, its flow a reminder of pain's purpose. I was blind, consumed by wealth, but sorrow opened my eyes, showed me what matters. I'm grateful for the nights I wept, the moments I doubted, for they led me to this garden, to Leo's drawings. Noah's hugs. Eleanor's death wasn't just loss, it was a call to live. The city's pulse beats with mine, its rhythm a song of gratitude. I touch her journal, its pages my map through darkness. Each word a gift. Pain taught me to love myself, to see my worth beyond titles. The skyline glows, a canvas of lessons learned, scars worn proudly. Could I have grown without this hurt? The oaks answer, their branches wide. Pain was the soil where I took root, blooming, always, for her, for me. I kneel by the daisy planter, the hospital garden alive with dawn. One truth holds me. I didn't conquer pain, I grew through it. This isn't a victory over enemies, but a surrender to love, Eleanor's, Sarah's, the boys'. It's not about winning, but becoming. A man who chooses heart over empire, hope over fear. The city wakes, Manhattan's lights fading into day, their glow my journey's echo. I see Eleanor's smile, her daisies. Their petals my promise kept. The Hudson River sings, its current my pulse, carrying this truth forward. Central Park's oaks stand, witnesses to my rebirth, their roots my own. I'm not the end of this story, but a chapter, one of love enduring, pain transforming, life blooming. The garden hums, daisies fierce, a testament to what lasts. I rise, the earth steady. My heart full, this quote my anchor, my gift to you. The skyline stretches, a horizon of possibility, inviting you to grow through your pain, to find your truth. Tell me, what will you become? The dawn answers, soft, eternal, for us all. I sit in my penthouse, Eleanor's journal open, and write to the Ethan of old. Dear Ethan, I begin. You were a shadow, cloaked in grief, blind to love. I see you in that Connecticut hospital, Eleanor's hand slipping from yours, your heart locking shut. You built walls, hid in boardrooms, let wealth define you. I don't blame you. Pain was your shield, solitude your refuge. You couldn't see her daisies, her faith, waiting to guide you. I write of Victor's betrayal, your fear of failing Sarah, Leo, Noah. You were enough, I tell you, my pen steady, even when you felt broken. The city's lights flicker outside, Manhattan's hum a soft hymn. Central Park's oaks rise in my mind, their roots deep, like the strength you didn't know you had. I forgive your silence, your doubt, for they led me here to this life of purpose, this home alive with laughter. The Hudson River flows, its current a whisper of your growth. I see you, Ethan, not as a failure, but as a man who tried, who rose. The journal's pages hold my words, a letter to a ghost I've released. The garden blooms in memory, daisies fierce, your pain their soil. You were my beginning, not my end. I close the journal, my heart light, the skyline a canvas of peace, ready to carry you forward. For her, for me. I once hated my weakness, my tears, my need for love. I despised the Ethan who faltered, who wept alone in that penthouse, who craved Eleanor's touch. I saw vulnerability as failure, a crack in my armor as a titan. Now, I'm grateful for those flaws. My tears taught me empathy, let me feel Sarah's pain, Leo and Noah's trust. My weakness built bridges to Brenda's faith, Maria's warmth, the community's hope. I hated my loneliness, but it led me to Eleanor's letter, her garden, her legacy. Central Park's leaves fall, each a gift, like daisies thriving through frost. The Hudson's light dances, its flow a reminder of my humanity. I once loathed my doubt, but it forged my resolve, made me fight for the initiative. My need for love wasn't shame, it was my root, connecting me to others. The city's pulse beats, alive with lessons I cherish. I see Eleanor smile, her hands in soil, embracing all of me. The skyline glows, a testament to scars turned strengths. I'm not perfect, but whole, my flaws the earth where I grew. Could I have become this without them? The oaks answer, their branches wide, my weaknesses were my wings, lifting me to her, to them. To me. I stand before my mirror, the city's dawn soft outside, and look at myself, really look. The lines on my face, etched by grief, are maps of love. I smile, not with pride, but peace. And wrap my arms around myself, an embrace long overdue. I'm enough, I whisper, the words of vow. The Ethan who hid, who fought, who rose, he's mine, whole. Central Park's oaks stand tall in memory. Their roots my own, grounding me. The Hudson River shines, its current my pulse, alive with acceptance. I see Eleanor's garden, daisies blooming, their strength my reflection. I don't flinch from my scars, my fears, my heart. They're me, not flaws, but colors of a life reclaimed. The city hums, Manhattan's skyline a mirror of my soul, radiant, unashamed. I touch her journal, its pages my witness, and feel her hand in mine, proud. The boys' laughter echoes, Sarah's smile my light. I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving, embracing every piece of me. The mirror holds no shame, only a man who loves himself, as she did. The garden answers, its blooms fierce, my embrace a homecoming, for her, for them, for me, forever rooted, growing, free. I sit in the hospital garden, Eleanor's daisy planter beside me, and write to Victor, the man I once hated. Victor, I begin, your lies cut deep, your betrayal a fire that burned my trust. I recall your smirk in the boardroom, your forged records, your attempt to bury Eleanor's dream. I hated you for twisting Sarah's pain, for tainting Leo and Noah's hope. Each word you spoke was a wound, your ambition a blade against my heart. I see Central Park's oaks, their branches heavy, like the anger I carried. Your action shook my empire, my faith, made me question my worth. I wanted you to hurt, to feel the weight of your deceit. But now, I write not to curse, but to release. The Hudson River flows nearby, its current a whisper of peace. I see Eleanor's garden, daisies blooming despite frost, their grace my guide. You were my mirror, showing me my own flaws, pride, blindness, fear. I don't excuse you, but I understand. A man lost to greed, as I was to grief. The city's hum softens, Manhattan's skyline a canvas of lessons. I write to free myself, to let your shadow fade. The garden's earth is warm, my pen steady, my heart lighter. You're no longer my enemy, just a chapter closed, a pain I've outgrown, for her, for them, for me. I no longer blame you, Victor, nor the board, nor myself. Resentment was a chain, binding me to pain, but I've broken it. I see you now, not as a villain, but a man who faltered, like me. I release the anger for your lies, the board's doubt, my own failures. It's not for your peace, but mine. I stand in the garden, daisies swaying, their roots deep, like the freedom I've found. Central Park's wind carries my release, its breath a hymn to healing. I don't grudge the scars you left. They taught me strength, showed me love's power. The Hudson's light dances, its flow a reminder of life beyond blame. I think of Sarah's smile, Leo's drawings. Noah's trust, they're my truth, not your deceit. The city's pulse beats, alive with purpose, my heart unburdened. I see Eleanor's face, her faith in me, urging me to let go. I've shed the weight of own, not to absolve you, but to soar. The skyline glows, a testament to a man unchained. Could I have grown without this release? The oaks answer, their leaves falling. Blame was a stone I no longer carry, my soul free to bloom for her, for them, for me. I hold the letter to Victor, its words heavy with my past. In the hospital garden, I light a match. The flame steady and set the paper ablaze. It burns, curling into ash, drifting on the wind like petals from Eleanor's daisies. This is my forgiveness, my letting go not just of you, but of all that held me back. The ashes scatter, the earth warm beneath my feet, the planter's blooms fierce. Central Park's oaks stand in memory, their roots my own, grounding me in peace. The Hudson River sparkles, its current a song of release. I see Sarah, Leo, Noah, their love my anchor, not your hate. The city hums, Manhattan's skyline bright, a horizon of freedom. I'm not erasing pain, but transforming it, like daisies through frost. The fire's warmth lingers, a symbol of my heart, unburdened, alive. I kneel, touching the planter, its cracks my story. Healed by love. The wind carries the last ash, a quiet vow to live fully, for Eleanor's legacy, for those I cherish. The garden sings, its blooms eternal, my forgiveness a gift to myself. A path forward, rooted, radiant, free. I sit in the hospital garden at dawn, the daisy planter beside me, its blooms soft in the early light. No words come, Only silence, deep and alive. The air hums with the earth's breath, a quiet pulse matching my own. Central Park's oaks rise in my mind, their branches swaying, leaves whispering memories of Eleanor's laughter, Sarah's strength, Leo and Noah's trust. The Hudson River glints nearby, its flow steady, a mirror to my journey. I touch the planter's cracked clay, its scars my own, each one a testament to love endured. The garden holds me, its soil warm, daisies standing fierce against the morning's chill. Manhattan's skyline fades in the haze, its hum distant, the world pausing with me. I close my eyes, feeling Eleanor's hand, her faith a breeze on my skin. The silence isn't empty, it's full, rich with all I've become. Birds call softly, their notes a hymn to resilience. The earth beneath me breathes, grounding me in this moment, whole, unburdened. I see the boys' drawings, Sarah's smile, Brenda's nod, each a root in my soul. The garden's stillness wraps me, a space to simply be, not a titan, not a ghost, but Ethan alive. The sun rises, its warmth a promise, the silence my anchor, holding all I've fought for her, for them, for me. I face the camera, the garden behind me, daisies glowing in the light. If you're lost, I say, my voice soft, I'm here, waiting for you. I speak to you, not as a CEO, but as Ethan, a man who stumbled through grief to find purpose. Eleanor's letter saved me, led me to Sarah, to Leo and Noah, to a life of love. You don't need to be strong to start, I tell you, holding her journal, its pages worn. The Hudson's current flows, a reminder of hope's persistence. I share my fear, my doubt, my rise, each scar a story of growth. Central Park's oaks stand tall, their strength yours, mine. The city's pulse beats, Manhattan's skyline a canvas for your dreams. You're not alone, I say, echoing Sarah's words, my eyes steady. The garden's earth grounds me, its blooms a call to rise. I see Eleanor's smile, her faith in us all. Your pain, your fight, it matters. The skyline softens, its lights warm, inviting you to step forward. I walk through darkness, I say, and found light. You can too. The camera holds us, a bridge between my heart and yours, built on truth, love, resilience. Tell me, are you ready to begin? The daisies answer, fierce, waiting for your voice. I lean closer. The camera a window to you. Share your story. I urge, my voice raw, the garden alive behind me. Your truth could light someone's way. I think of Eleanor, her daisies, how her love sparked this journey. Your pain, your hope, it's a seed, like Leo's drawings, Noah's trust, Sarah's fight. Write it, speak it, let it bloom. I say, holding a daisy, its petals bright. Central Park's paths stretch in my mind, open to all, like the Hudson's flow, carrying stories forward. The city hums, Manhattan's skyline a chorus of voices waiting. I shared mine, I say, and it grew into this, a community, a legacy. Post it, tag hashtag Eleanor Vance Inspires, let it ripple. Your story might save a parent, a child, a stranger. The garden's earth is warm. Its blooms a call to connect. I see Brenda's nod, Maria's warmth, the crowd's hope, there with you. Who's next? I ask, my eyes meeting yours through the lens. The skyline glows, a constellation of shared truths. Your voice matters, your fight endures. Tell me, what's your story? The daisies sway, fierce, a promise that your words will bloom, for you, for them, for us all. I stand in the hospital garden, daisies glowing, and my heart swells with gratitude. Thank you for listening, for walking this path with me, from my grief to this moment of light. Your comments, your shares, your stories, they've woven a tapestry of hope, binding us in Eleanor's dream. I see your words online, each one a petal, like Leo's drawings, Noah's hugs, Sarah's smile. You've lifted the Eleanor Vance Initiative, sent donations, rallied for kids fighting cancer. Central Park's oaks rise in my mind, their roots deep, like your support, grounding me. The Hudson River shimmers, its flow a hymn to our connection. I was lost, a man broken by loss, but your faith, alongside Brenda's, Maria's, the boys, gave me wings. The city's hum is warm, Manhattan's skyline a canvas of your kindness. You saw me, not the CEO, but Ethan, flawed, fighting, whole. Your voices echo in the garden, fierce as daisies through frost. I touch the planter. Its cracks my journey, your presence its healing. Thank you for believing, for for staying, for making this legacy ours. The skyline softens, its lights a chorus of gratitude. You've changed me, as Eleanor did, as Sarah and the boys do. Tell me, have you felt this bond too? The earth answers, steady, our shared story blooming, for her, for them, for us. I look to the future, unafraid. My heart open. The initiative will grow, saving more lives, with Sarah leading, her strength a beacon. Leo and Noah will thrive, their laughter my guide. Our family now complete with a daughter we've welcomed. I'll keep speaking, sharing, building bridges with you, for Eleanor's love. Central Park's paths stretch forward. Their earth my promise to walk with purpose. The Hudson's current flows, its light a vision of labs funded, families healed, communities united. I'll tend her garden, in Connecticut and here. Daisies blooming as a vow to live fully. Manhattan's skyline beckons, a horizon of possibility, not profit, but love. I don't know every step, but I trust the journey, as I trusted her letter. Her faith. The city hums, alive, its pulse mine, yours. I'll stay at Vance Holdings, but my wealth serves life now, not power. The garden's blooms sway, fierce, a testament to what's ahead. I see Eleanor's smile, her hand in mine, guiding me still. The future isn't certain, but it's bright, rooted in our shared truth. Tell me, what do you dream for tomorrow? The oaks answer. Their branches wide, our legacy growing, for her, for them, for all, forever forward, radiant, free. I hold a daisy, its petals bright, and face you through the camera. Don't hide your story, I say. Voice steady. Share it, act, let it change the world. You've seen my pain, my rise, now it's your turn. Start small. Help a neighbor, fund a cause, speak your truth. Join us. Tag hashtag Eleanor Vance Inspires. Make hope viral. Central Park's leaves fall, each a call to move, like the Hudson's flow, carrying your light. The city pulses, Manhattan skyline yours. A stage for your courage. Eleanor's legacy isn't mine, it's ours, yours. Think of Sarah's fight, the boy's joy, and act for someone in your life. The garden hums, daisies fierce, waiting for your story to bloom. You're enough, I say, echoing Sarah, my eyes meeting yours. Your step could save a life, spark a movement. Tell me, what will you do? The skyline glows. A constellation of action, open, endless. Share your truth, don't let it stay silent. It's a seed, ready to grow. The camera lingers, the garden alive, our bond eternal. The earth whispers, steady. Your story the next chapter for you, for them, for us all. I stand in the hospital garden, daisies glowing, and my heart swells with gratitude. Thank you for listening. For walking this path with me, from my grief to this moment of light. Your comments, your shares, your stories, they've woven a tapestry of hope, binding us in Eleanor's dream. I see your words online. Each one a petal, like Leo's drawings, Noah's hugs, Sarah's smile. You've lifted the Eleanor Vance initiative, sent donations, rallied for kids fighting cancer. Central Park's oaks rise in my mind. Their roots deep, like your support, grounding me. The Hudson River shimmers, its flow a hymn to our connection. I was lost, a man broken by loss, but your faith, alongside Brenda's, Maria's, the boys, gave me wings. The city's hum is warm, Manhattan's skyline a canvas of your kindness. You saw me, not the CEO, but Ethan, flawed, fighting, whole. Your voices echo in the garden, fierce as daisies through frost. I touch the planter, it cracks my journey. Your presence, it's healing. Thank you for believing, for staying, for making this legacy ours. The skyline softens. Its lights a chorus of gratitude. You've changed me, as Eleanor did, as Sarah and the boys do. Tell me, have you felt this bond too? The earth answers, steady, our shared story blooming, for her. For them, for us. I look to the future, unafraid, my heart open. The initiative will grow, saving more lives, with Sarah leading, her strength a beacon. Leo and Noah will thrive. Their laughter my guide, our family now complete with a daughter we've welcomed. I'll keep speaking, sharing, building bridges with you, for Eleanor's love. Central Park's paths stretch forward. Their earth my promise to walk with purpose. The Hudson's current flows, its light a vision of labs funded, families healed, communities united. I'll tend her garden, in Connecticut and here. Daisies blooming as a vow to live fully. Manhattan skyline beckons, a horizon of possibility, not profit, but love. I don't know every step, but I trust the journey as I trusted her letter. Her faith. The city hums, alive, its pulse mine, yours. I'll stay at Vance Holdings, but my wealth serves life now, not power. The garden's blooms sway, fierce, a testament to what's ahead. I see Eleanor's smile, her hand in mine, guiding me still. The future isn't certain, but it's bright, rooted in our shared truth. Tell me, what do you dream for tomorrow? The oaks answer. Their branches wide, our legacy growing, for her, for them, for all, forever forward, radiant, free. I hold a daisy, its petals bright, and face you through the camera. Don't hide your story, I say. Voice steady. Share it, act, let it change the world. You've seen my pain, my rise, now it's your turn. Start small. Help a neighbor, fund a cause, speak your truth. Join us. Tag hashtag Eleanor Vance Inspires. Make hope viral. Central Park's leaves fall, each a call to move, like the Hudson's flow, carrying your light. The city pulses, Manhattan skyline yours. A stage for your courage. Eleanor's legacy isn't mine, it's ours, yours. Think of Sarah's fight, the boy's joy, and act for someone in your life. The garden hums, daisies fierce, waiting for your story to bloom. You're enough, I say, echoing Sarah, my eyes meeting yours. Your step could save a life, spark a movement. Tell me, what will you do? The skyline glows. A constellation of action, open, endless. Share your truth. Don't let it stay silent. It's a seed, ready to grow. The camera lingers, the garden alive, our bond eternal. The earth whispers, steady. Your story the next chapter, for you, for them, for us all.